Hello everyone, the 316 here with another popcorn bucket review or video. Here I have the Tron Ares Lightcycle popcorn bucket. This was supposed to come out about a week or two before the movie came out, but there were some shipping delays, but thankfully I was able to go to my local Cinemark theater and they had enough. They had one and I got it. So this retails for I think $75. After taxes it was about I think 81, 82-ish. Pretty expensive, just slightly less expensive than the Galactus popcorn bucket. I think that was $80 retail. This was 75. So and you can see with my camera setup here I had to pull it back so that you can get a good idea just the size of this thing. Like, it takes up almost the entirety of my mat down here. I mean, this thing is crazy. Like, I was not expecting it to be so large, but the idea is you would put your popcorn in the wheels here. In the movie, of course, their wheels have holes in them. In person, there's the plastic there. And some theaters have, or rather, some copies of this particular bucket have had cracks where the handlebars are on the glass, or, well, it's the glass. It's plastic, but there have been cracks here. Thankfully, mine came out unscathed. I do have some issues with tolerances, at least on that back portion there. But I have seen the movie. I really liked it. I'm a big fan of Tron. This is like only the second merchandise thing I have of Tron. I have the Tron Legacy Lego set. I'd go grab it, but it's covered in dust. But I mostly like what they did here. It does have LEDs. I do want to point that out. If this didn't have any LEDs at all, it'd be kind of annoying, especially because it's Tron. But the detail is here, molded pretty well. There's not a lot of paint. You get the black lines on the sides of the wheels here. You got this on the arm. You got this on the leg, and then you got the helmet, which is painted probably the best. These are just lines. They don't look that great. Kind of wish there was like an indent and then they painted the lines on, but they didn't do that. Let me close these up, and this is going to be a bit unwieldy on camera, so just bear with me here. But yeah, this thing is massive. Like, let's see, what would be a good thing to scale this with? Here is the Shogun Megazord from Power Rangers back in, what, 93? No, 95. 95, I think. But yeah, it just gives you an idea on how giant this thing is. I mean, like, look at that. That's insane how big this popcorn bucket is. It might even be bigger than Galactus. I did take a photo of it. That's in the thumbnail that you'll see. But let's see, what else do I got? Here's the most recent Playmates Mastodon. I mean, this thing dwarfs that by a significant amount. It's crazy how big this thing is. Like, I mean, just size alone, really, I don't know why they made it so big. I don't mind, though. Really big fan of the Tron movies, so if you just look at how big this thing is, like, goodness. On the bottom, you can see where the electronics are and all the legalese. This one is painted or printed on, whereas on the Galactus bucket it was molded. Can't put it in the wait, can you put it in the dishwasher? It's got the dishwasher logo there. Yeah, you can't throw it away though because of the batteries. Once you take those out, you could probably throw it away. But this is dishwasher safe. There ain't no way. Like, there's electronics in this thing, and not to mention, it might be hard to see, but there's actually holes here. Like, let me see. Yeah, there's holes there. You can see there's a hole there where the LED is. Like, they ain't. Don't put this in the dishwasher. Don't be stupid. Don't be stupid. But the button to actually turn on the electronics, it's on camera. It's easy to see, but in person, it's like flush, so it's hard to actually find. But here it is with the lights on, and let me turn off my second light here. Give you an idea of what it looks like. Actually, turn off my upper light as well. The LEDs, they look okay. I think in the wheels they look the best. This front wheel looks pretty good. The back wheel's alright. Up here, there's like two right next to each other. It looks kind of weird, this one not being in the middle. And the one at the bottom, down here, it's just kind of, like you can see, like the luminosity, is that the word I'm looking for? But the luminescence, like it's much brighter up here than it is here. I think these ones are a bit more inset into the actual bucket, but I mean, this is less of a bucket and more of a display piece. But okay, so you can see the LED up here. This one's centered, but then this one's off. So the centering on some of these LEDs ain't too good. This wheel, again, looks good. The back wheel here, it's dark here. The LEDs are there. I can see the light coming through. But it just doesn't look that great. Like, I wish the LEDs were a little bit different. They don't look bad. And you can see the LEDs poking through the hole there. Like, from the front view, it doesn't look too bad, but you don't see any of the LEDs. I think my biggest complaint with the LEDs, beyond, you know, the inconsistency, is that they didn't put any in his helmet. I think that would have really elevated this particular bucket, because there ain't no LEDs in here. That's weird. His head moves. It's not supposed to. It's supposed to be a static piece. Let me turn my lights back on. There we go. Yeah, this thing's really cool, though. Like, I think what I really like is actually this, you know, supposed to be Ares in the vehicle. At least that's my assumption. I don't think this is Athena. Athena's the other character in the movie that really has any prevalence. You know, you got like the shoulder pads here and other padding, especially here. He doesn't really have an ass crack, but he's got an ass. I also like the details on the boots there. They did a good job of sculpting that. I think another weird thing for me is that in the middle here, he doesn't have any of the red lights on the side going down. Like, he doesn't have any paint there. It just looks kind of plain and basic and bland. Ooh, that's not supposed to happen. Yeah, his head moves, but I don't think it's supposed to. Yeah, I think it's a separate piece that they glued in. I kind of see a bit of a seam line where his neck is. And then they do have the identity disc, but, you know, it doesn't say, like, Dillinger Systems on it, but it's a good rendition of that. It looks pretty good. I don't know how accurate this is to the actual, you know, movie version, but I would say this is probably close to the final look. I know that this upper section definitely is, and that gap between that. What I was going to point out was you can see the front wheel here. You can see just how flush that is. On the back wheel, that is not the case. For some reason, mine has a bit of a tolerance issue, and you can kind of get into the gap there. And you can definitely see through. That's not supposed to look like that. It's supposed to look more like that front one up there. But yeah, I am still glad to have got this popcorn bucket. I've been looking for this thing since like July, because I thought they'd have it early, because they had the Galactus bucket about a month early. So I don't know why this got delayed in shipping. But if you did get this shipped, be sure to take a look at it. Don't keep it in storage. Make sure that your glass isn't cracked up here. I know a lot of people have had issues with that. I know that one theater got like a whole shipment and they were all cracked and they wouldn't sell them for some reason. But like I said, thankfully I got unscathed. Just a tolerance issue on that back wheel. Get these in person if you can. But yeah, this thing's really cool. And I have a Batman controller holder here. This holds like my Xbox controller. Like I said, this thing's massive. I don't know where I'm gonna put this. This thing's massive. I would do size comparisons here, but it's bigger than my ruler. Like, I have a tape measure, but I don't want to bring it out. I'd say it's like 20 inches from wheel to wheel, and then width-wise, let's see, the longest width is from the handlebars. Let's see if I can get that. It's about 6.5 inches wide at the widest. Not as wide as I thought. And then, the height. So the tallest this thing is, it's almost 10 inches tall. So, yeah, 20, 10, 6.5. Kind of crazy. Again, this thing is massive. I don't know where I'm going to put it. It takes up the entirety of my desk for this review. I had to zoom the camera out. I really like this thing. You know, if they ever do Tron Ares Hot Toys figures, I think this would scale decently well with them. Of course, you have the figure on the bike, but I think this would scale decently well with 1/6 scale figures because you get what 4 inches there. There's another like 3.5 inches, and then from there to there's like another 7, so that's like what 14 inches. So yeah, this would probably fit with 1/12 scale stuff. Definitely doesn't fit with 1/6 scale. Here's, maximum Spider-Man. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments down below if you're getting this popcorn bucket. Oh, I almost forgot. I do have one popcorn bucket to show this off with. I got the Crypto popcorn bucket. He holds the stuff like my wallet. I got this guy for $15. Just, but yeah, Crypto's pretty big next to him, but it gets dwarfed again by this giant Lightcycle bucket. But hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to leave a like on the video, subscribe, and hit the bell. It all helps out the channel. And as always, peace